All right. Oh, there we go. I changed my resolution, so it messed up my recording. Well, not the recording, everything. It messed up the stream's layout, OBS layout. It was bigger than I expected, so it didn't fit into it. Easy fix. Cool. I'm gonna turn down the game's audio a little bit. I'm sure it's been too loud. I might have been too quiet. Never know. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Sorry we're 30 minutes late. Like 35 minutes late. That's ridiculous. Well, it's because it was Father's Day, and I was finishing up dinner with my brother and my dad. Just kidding. But it was good. Good old cowboy dinner. Steak, potatoes, and green beans. It's pretty good, though. Pretty good steak. Alright. What are we going to do about the fact that the suit is at 61%? And also that it is 54 kPa in here. 54.6. Mostly oxygen. Building up the CO2 slowly but surely. So, we need to set up proper atmospherics, something that drains our CO2 in this room into that tank. And I guess something that filters it out. I feel like I should set up a universal filtration unit that separates all gases back out into their individual components no matter what source it comes from. Because then I can always replace the filters if I see that there's any errors, and I can always read out a warning from that specific machine. I don't have to worry about doing it from multiple machines. Hmm. I'm not sure. It also saves on electricity because we're using fewer atmospheric units. Every watt counts. That should be the name of this episode. Every watt counts.
Power low.
Yeah. Sure it is. I guess I could have drank a little bit of water extra. Okay. So what we need to do is... Ooh, I forgot I did this. Keeps it specifically at the temperature so that it doesn't... Right. That's a secret Mousker tool that we will use later. So I have to figure out a way to automate this. I want more room. Step 1, more room. Alright. if I connected this in, is there another port in the back? No? Okay. So I can read from the stacker when it outputs. And then tell the machine to stop running its output. I think that's doable. And I think I could set it up for every single machine with 4 inputs. So I can just batch out to these to tell them to stop. And now, hold on, let me explain that. You might not understand what I mean by batch out. I've played this game before. Each item, whether it's an auto lathe, or an electronics printer, or even the sensors and lights, or basically anything that connects into the network. And I think, I don't know, let me check. Even the steel frames have the prefab hatch, which is what I mean by a batch out to. This is something that you can put into your code and hard code it in as a number that it will reference whenever it's trying to talk to an object through the network. And it will target all of these objects.
Power critical.
I should probably fix that. Okay. Should probably also grab some oxygen. Let's get ahead of some of these things. Here in a second. I can pause while I actually take care of this, so that the game does not progress. You can also click that in the top right. Very important. Anyway, back to the auto lathe. Whenever you're looking at the auto lathe, you can reference its prefabbed hash, as you can see here, to talk to specifically it. And since we don't have multiple of those printers on this network, it doesn't matter. We can just use one controller, read from each stacker, whether or not it's output, and check those. And once it outputs, then we can stop production on the auto lathe using a command, which can be seen down here. We're going to see, I bet you it's activate. Yes, because it's the green button. So you can write to activate to be off state. And then it'll turn off the printer. Now we need one controller, because they come with 4 slots, 6 slots, 6 slots. We should also put up a clock using the daylight sensor. It tells us what time it is. Or maybe there's... Okay. Anyway, we have our steel frames. Let's extend out what we're working on. Let's worry about that later. For now, we need to focus on doing this, since we technically have limited time outside. We've got limited resources still. You're not technically surviving yet. At this moment, if I just sat in there, I would die. Eventually. Rather quickly, too, which would be sad. So I'm not in for that. What I'm trying to do is have a sustainable life setup and then build a rocket. Once I have a rocket and I launch into space or whatever, we can switch to the next planet, which is even harder, I'm sure. It has its own challenges I'll have to deal with. But, you know, I'll figure that out when I get there. You cross that bridge when you get there. Figure it out first. Basics first. We're going to need more steel. You know what? Let's electronics printer. Let's get it going. It's already too many. Okay, it stopped. Oh, we just wait. We just wait. We only need one. So, this one. Alright. Set this up later. But I want to set it up like that. And we'll connect it in later. Matter of fact, you can chill right there. I'm sure people have written these scripts already too, and I'm not the first person to think of some of the genius things I think I'm thinking of, but I actually have seen very little inspiration. Can't say none, because I'm sure I've seen a few YouTube shorts. I know I've seen one of a dude's base with his hydrolyzer blowing space up because he used a room to do it, and that maxes out at like 200 kPa, and too much came in, and then his base went kaboom. I don't know if it was a hydrolyzer or what, but when it mixed with the air, it caught on fire pretty quick. I thought it was funny when they said reload the quick save. Like, yeah, I did that once. That's because I'm a dumbass and I misclicked, which is a silly fool mistake, and I probably should have just lived with it and let that crater be a fucking reminder of what I shouldn't have done. But you know, it was kind of fun. That's the only one I would not allow myself. If I make a genuine mistake, I should probably just live with it and try and survive. Another genuine mistake. That is. Draw the line at 1. Okay. So we got our stuff actually lined out pretty good. Right. No white cam for the oxygen. And we'll leave CO2 yellow. Kind of like that. Here comes the sun. They're gonna get me for that. Who? I don't know. Please. It is very important this circuit stays on at all times. I feel like I should put another area power controller right here, facing that way. That always stays on with a backup battery. Because if this ever cools down, which I think inevitably, yes, it will start to cool down. I don't know how quickly. Doesn't seem like it's incredibly quick. It is also daytime. Nighttime would be worse. But none of this is insulated. which means that technically it has a chance to cool down enough that it can condense inside of the gas system here. And because it's a gas system and it has no liquid outlet, I guess I could set up a liquid outlet. Hmm. But there's not supposed to be liquid and gas in the same container. There's specific containers designed for them. And when you mix water in a gas container, or not liquid in a gas container, or gas in a liquid container sometimes. I don't know. I don't think gas in a liquid container is a problem. Liquid in a gas container is a problem. And I know that for a fact. I just want to find out. They have the same gas pressure limitation as the gas tank. Huh. I'm not quite sure what that's about. I guess you can, like I was thinking, pressurize a liquid system with a gas to make sure that it flows properly whenever you open a tank, because the gas will stay in the tank, hopefully. I don't know. I thought it was a problem whenever there was a gas within a pipe junction like this, too. Because it would, like, no. As long as you tighten it down, shouldn't, seal shouldn't blow out the side or anything. I don't know. It's fine. Just insane. But liquid in a gas pipe is bad. It'll blow out the side of the gas pipe. And then you lose all of the gas in your container. So that's why we have to keep this at a high enough temperature that it stays a gas, no matter what pressure it gets to. And that's why I was looking at that gas chart last time. Yes, air tank low.
Critical.
Air tank critical. Oh. Thank you. I don't think anything else got in this container, did it? Nope. All oxygen? Cool. I hope that's not too much. It might be too much. No, it's just processing quickly. Oh, that's right, because they changed the gas system so that it transfers almost instantaneously whenever it does its process. Fantastic coding. Straight wizardry. Okay, so we're doing alright. Just fine. Hmm. I guess I should do a separate processing station over here. I think I'm gonna build one more row of solar panels, just in case. At some point. Not right now. We gotta work on those atmospherics for the... Tired of breathing that dank air that doesn't move. Maybe I should set up some automatic circulation. Might be worth it. Might be worth it. Sounds expensive though, as far as power goes. I've only got one bat. It does last me through the night. Okay. I've seen it get down to 2 or 3 bar one time. I didn't really like it. 3 bars okay, 2 bars not great. It only shows you every 20%. So we did this. Active vent. Passive vent. I think we got some tubing. 20. That's enough. We're gonna need shirks. 2 of them. Gonna run out of iron. Oh yeah, wait, where's the back? Yeah, we got a little bit left. Might be hot enough to even do it. Just throw it in there. Ooh, I think it's just... Kelvin. It's a lot of pressure there, too. I wonder how much extra... What other gases are in there? There's water in there? That's not good. Okay. I'll let some of the gas out while I go ahead. Hit it with the 1-2. Close. Let it heat up a little bit. 800 Kelvin? Thought so. Here we go. Alright. Throw that in here. Do that again. What? Can't combine it. Okay. Interesting. Guess I'm facing it this way. Pipe. Cable coil. Screwdriver. And then filters. And an area power controller. And connect up the rest of them. This stage filters out CO2. This stage filters out nitrogen. Why don't I filter out CO2 in this stage? Easier. First stage filters out CO2. Second stage filters out nitrogen. Leftover oxygen. Oh, filters out oxygen. There. Unfiltered. Unfiltered. Should be there.
Power low.
There. Why would someone do something like this? Who would do something so diabolical? Well, what asshole? All right. Yep. Oh. Nope. Here's what we do. And move this out of our hands. Watch this trick. Well, bam. Still works. Painting without the can. Call it what you want. I think it's pretty cool. CO2. Oxygen. I'm planning. I'm quietly planning. I should say things out loud. I'm sorry. I sat there and went through that whole thing. Okay. If I want to be able to extend out my solar panels further this way, I can still use the cable on this side, which is what I was thinking. This is my oxygen line, so I can run it directly up and over, and that way it doesn't interfere with anything on the solar panels, and then I can run it back over here as well. I wanted to do an overflow oxygen container that's like an actual tank, like an inline tank one. It's a big one. And it'll be an overflow for the rest of this system, which I will keep charged to like 8,000 kilopascals. So I can always go throw my oxygen tank in there and it gets filled up to pretty much full. Yeah, yeah. That way I can keep extending solar panels. I need to be able to increase my amount of batteries. I might take an idea from my other world and go down underneath and build a battery bank down there. Later. Atmospherics. Stay focused.
Hydration critical.
Hydration critical these bull. Can I just miss it? Recognize your reality and I substitute my own. I swear I'm not crazy. That's not the direction I was. Oh, maybe I'm hitting my fucking mouse wheel with my finger as I'm doing it. Can I do that? Can I? Like, you can. You can switch it as in place. I just did it on purpose. See. Okay, that is kind of annoying. While I'm in here, I will quickly grab me some water. Ooh, and I've got the passive vents and the active vents. I'll place them where I want them. The active vent that pulls from the room should be near the sensor. Passive vent that returns to the room should be further, the opposite side of the room, typically. That's what I'm gonna do. More pipes, of course. I don't know why I put it that way. Goes down. Do it that way. Send the gas where it needs to go. And actually, I'm gonna put it in the corner. Because of how it pulls from the room. I probably should have put it in the corner. Why am I doing this? Going crazy. Okay. If I put it in the corner and I have the other output here, whenever I have the gas sensor here, the average. Maybe. I'm pretty sure I can average the answer from multiple gas sensors as well, but this room isn't that big. I don't care that much. And there aren't plants in here that are like girly and neat. No, that's not the way I want to say that. That's not right. Wimpy and only like a specific temperature, humidity, and pressure and shit. Or if you have a big room. Sometimes the pressure can drop in a big room in certain areas. Circulation is important. Alright. we go. All right. So this is also my basic code layout that I should have been using, haven't been, where I label where my shit's supposed to be. So my variables are the things like load device 1, so we'll call it R0. We'll call this device Adam D0. No, I don't have to call it D0, do I? I do have to call it D0. Do I? I do. I can just alias that as something else. So this at D0, and we're pulling in answers from the autolay. No. Stacker. So we need to be loading activate. Output. I think output is what I was supposed to be reading. And all we do is load the same thing, R1. Actually, pretty sure we can just copy this. Paste it over. And then go back and change it to R1, R2, R3. And there, D1, 2, D3. And then it is alias. Okay. And then we will re-alias each of these as an easy name to type for them. And I like capitalizing the first letter. So we're reading the output for each of these stackers, and then we're aliasing their names. I didn't really need to do this part. I guess it helps me remember which ones need to go where. I guess I branch greater than. Can I put a subclass? It says R or no. And I can I have to input. I have to do like string. Hmm. So if R0 is greater than or equal to 1. Branch 2, can I say start? That is allowed. Okay. So I can go to my subclasses like autolathe. I shouldn't do that. I should do. I should just do the whole thing. I should do autolathe ejector. And then I can just copy this. If I paste this into my branch and remove the semicolon, it'll jump to that subclass down here. And then restart. So all I do is copy this, format, and then change it. So then it needs to be R1, R2, R3. These need to be electronics. And for simplicity's sake, I'm going to cut it down for now. It's going to be type. We need to copy them, paste them, put semicolons after them, along with jump start. So that way that they know how to reference each other and what they're talking about. Now we can make some room. All right. Getting down to the nitty gritty. Almost there. So once the autolathe has ejected, it needs to read out to the autolathe through its batch, prefab hatch. So then you look over here. It's like etc, ECH. There we go. It's LB. Load batch. I don't know why it took me so long. That's fool. 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 I can leave this open while I type here. So I want to load batch. The value needs to be. Oh, I can just put a number. Cool. 0 off the device hash. So I paste that from what I copied whenever I clicked it. Logic type. Activate 0. Oh wait, no, it's already sending 0 as the value. No, I need a save batch. SB. I don't know why I'm loading. Device hash, then the logic type, then the value. Magic, look at that. Okay. Nope, wait, nope. Oh, wait. Does the autolathe have the same? It does have the same prefab hash. They thought about that. Cool. Bing. Close it. SB. Paste. Activate. 0. Copy this one. Nope. Tool manufacturing. Copy that prefab hash. SB. Paste. Activate. 0. And this might not even, but at least it'll get me close, maybe. I'll start figuring out why it's not working here in a minute. I'm sorry this is taking me forever. Last one is the pipe. And I messed that up. I'll have to switch them. Hydraulic. Oh, I knew it. It was fuck. I am a fool. I cannot spell. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. Just like that. Copy that. Paste. Copy. Paste. Yeah, copy. Mother. Whew. So setting it is how I'm going to activate it anyway. So there's no need to put extra space. No need to tell it to eject. Okay. Confirm. pick up the laptop, close it for a minute. Why is it angry? Okay. Okay, it should be safe for sure. Oh yeah. I eat food whenever I eat. Drink anything? Take a little water extra. Hit the button. Close the helmet. Rock and roll. You're connected in. Actually, you open, sit on the ground. Oh, okay. Export. Loaded with the 750 bytes. Just need to connect it. And all the printers. Make sure all the printers are connected. Otherwise, I won't be able to deactivate them. Okay. Test it with something simple. Just like one kind of steel sheet. Oh! You're right. And I gotta label these. Shit. Auto lather. Yeah, auto lathe. Ah! I keep doing that shit. Okay. Now I have to set them to that. D0 has to be the auto lathe stacker. Electronic stacker. Type stacker. Tool stacker. See if this shit works. It didn't work. Um. Well, I know that it's deactivate button on this that we need to be turning off. So my thoughts are it's not talking correctly to the autoloader. Or it's not detecting an output stack. Probably activate on that too. What does it say? It says clear stack. I'm being sidetracked, but I think it's worth it. So we should measure activate. Is what I'm picking up. Okay. So, yeah, what's happening? We can look at that with the iPad here if we load it with the network analyzer.
Power critical.
No, I lied. Power critical again? This shit's just eating up energy. We can if we use the electronics printer and make a... Oh, what's it even called? Data? No. Configuration cartridge. That's what it is. It shows the configuration of different devices. So the only reliable way to do it is to measure the import and the export count. And see when it changes. I can read the export count. But problem is I have to do math. It has to run that math every time it does this cycle. It shouldn't be that bad. we're just gonna have to do so if I then load R0, no, load R4 with R0, does it need a launcher type? Probably does. We need to use export count. Then I guess the same thing down here. This over and over. Then it goes R5, R6, R7, R3, R2, and R1. That way, it loads up the previous, sorry, it's going to save this current version into those. And R4, 5, 6, and 7 will be still the previous count's number. So all we're going to do now is if R4 is ever greater than its previous cycle, no, because then it's just gonna, wait, no, it's fine, because it'll only export the stack. This works still. R1, R2, R3. Okay. Can I just get this nonsense? And then I'm just gonna say double equals. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay. Let's figure it out. I think we can do this. How do we set one thing equal to another?
Light boy.
I'm not letting any in, don't worry. Hmm.
You get my stuff ordered up?
Yeah, I'm streaming right now. Okay. Hmm. What? Halt and catch fire. Hmm. It's move. Oh, it's move. Perfect. Move. Register equals provided number. Register. This register equals the provided number or register value. So R4 gets R0's value. Exactly what I want. Confirm. Put it in here. Export it. Load it back in. Try it one more time. Stackers 1. Nope. Didn't do it. So it's still not seeing. Wouldn't export. I don't know what that was about. That might have been the issue. How about now? Nope. Not doing it. Hmm. How does that work again? The register here. The Maybe it's too fast? Hmm. Wait, maybe I'm writing this wrong. Branch the line C if A is greater than B. Yeah, because those would be the previous values. Previous values will never be greater than the new values. So, add it backwards. Constantly setting it to 0 now. Doesn't make any sense. Unless it's not remembering from its previous cycle whenever it jumps to the start. Oh. Now none of them are going to do anything. Well, even if I could make whatever it is. Okay, we get it. I can't make anything without gold. Okay. Right. Um, Constantly deactivating this one.
Waste tank caution.
I have an idea. I'll just check with the time difference in between. Instead of moving the variables, I will just recheck them. And what you do is you take this value, that value, that value, and that value, and then you sleep for, I don't know, 2 cycles. And then you load the values again. This time, you load them in separate chambers. 4, 5, 6, 7. And if they're greater than this, it'll branch to that. A is greater than B. A is greater than B. A is greater than B. I did have it set up right under special. So if this ends up being greater than that, which is when this is larger than that, which is the original value, after or before the sleep cycle, now it'll work. Library, save, control, overwrite. Confirm. Pull this out. Put this in. Export. Turn on. All right. Oh. I didn't click it. Here's the proof. Let me stand back far enough away that it'll do all on its own. Takes a second. Maybe it sleeps too long. Maybe I just need to change that to a yield. See if it works first. Before I do all that other nonsense. See if that's better. Much better. The beauty of it is it's set to the ejector amount, or the amount ejected over its lifespan, or whatever. It means that if I change this up to, say I want 4, I can just stand back, put my hands on my head, go somewhere else, go get a sip of water inside, whatever. And once it hits 4, Ejects, stops. Beautiful. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Perfect Christmas present right there. And it should work on all of them. So say I come over here, I want pipe. Scroll down, get my pipe here, and I want my stack of, let's say 10. Alright. And it should, all on its own, stop once it hits a stack of 10. We need to connect this pipe here, then we need to connect the output, which is in the corner now. Down and out of the room. Oh, so happy. Like a grown man cry. No more wasted resources. I can always set it to what I want to have outputted now. And honestly, it does make me pretty damn happy. Alright. So, we need another area of power control. Just one. This output line needs to connect back in. Go this way. Pretty sure I can just, yeah. You can just paint over them by doing that anyway. What's the harm in it? Okay. And then I need to run the oxygen this way and do a pressure relief valve here. Those need to stay on at all times. I need to put a gas sensor inside the room so that it detects when the pressure and the gas mixture is incorrect. Yay, more coding. Oh boy, I know that's your guys' favorite to watch. I'm gonna do it like... I'm gonna do it inside.
Low
Oh.
pressure. Oxygen low.
No, it's not. He's fine.
Power low.
Just low. Ain't critical yet. Should we go with up or down? Power comes in here. That's still transformer main line. So up and over. Cross. Goes down there. I want mainline juice coming in, I can just go across the top. Just like that. Little funky sometimes, kind of like the system. Got its quirks to it. Oh, still got a little more to do. Just 2 more. Okay, we're gonna make another 20. I'll make some more pipes while we're at it. Make another 10. Go. 5. No. So while they're doing that, I might as well grab the laptop and finish coding up what I'm gonna do next. Maybe I'll do some coding outside of here to prepare myself for shit next time. That way you guys don't have to watch so much of that. I mean, it is important to figure out how to write the stuff in the game. I guess it's part of the content. We got there eventually. With some extra stuff, of course. We aren't really using. But it's good practice for later whenever we're going to need to be doing big coding segments. Good. And connect it. It has to filter out the oxygen because it's got the oxygen filter in it. So we're good. Sun's getting ready to go down. And yes, I am aware that this solar panel has less efficiency than the one in front of it because of the, the clipping. Whatever. It's not perfect efficiency. It should be further apart. It should be like 1.5 apart. But then you lose efficiency during the peak hours of the day. Wrong! I guess material cost is the biggest deficit there. Pipe. Give me the yellow pipe.
Waste tank critical.
It is? It's crazy. Take that. That's all right. It's just technically my waste tank had a little bit of oxygen and a little bit of nitrogen in there. Oh, I had nitrogen. Oh, I guess from inside the atmosphere here. It's alright. Anyway, let's clear this and then load the basic code. Load out. Load out. Close that up. Load device. Load R0 with device 0. Logic type. It'll be a gas sensor. We need to read pressure, the ratio of carbon dioxide. It's gonna be the active vent too. We're gonna set up as device 1. So save D1. We're gonna alias that. So now, whenever we saved event, it's saving to D1. We're going to save logic type on, set to 1, or set to 0. We're going to keep doing that for each of these. Because that means that we set the event to be off, or we can just set it at the very end. I'm going to check each of these. And all we do is branch less than, we're going to do pressure, so R0, A less than B. A is less than B, which will be our number, which is 101. Might be 101,000, it might be 101. Oh, what the hell? Branch 2, we're going to do pressure up. Same thing here, branch greater than R0. We're going to actually do this at, yeah, we'll do 101 and we'll do 110. Pressure down. And this will be for the carbon dioxide ratio, which means that we do R1 greater than 0.00. We'll do that, which is 0.8%. Leading zero. We'll do pressure down. Or we can make a separate one called scrubbing. Yeah, we'll call it scrubbing, where it turns on both the vent and the filtration return. Or the gas mixer, sorry. Which will be D2. And then we need to have all of these down. Pressure up. Pressure down. And of course, scrubbing. And so for pressure up, all we do is turn on mixer. Save mixer on 1. We also got to save mixer on 0. Save vent on 1. For scrubbing, we just do both. And then turns them off if they don't branch again. And we do jump after each. Separate them so it looks more clean and visible. That way our coating looks good. Create a new one. We'll call it pressure and filtration. Okay. And so this should work as long as we set up all of the devices correctly. Quickly run over here, realize I'm out of resources and I can't make another IC-10 because I did that earlier. Yep, we're out of gold. Okay, and if I look at my handy dandy belt here, I'll find no gold. Yep, okay. Either of them? Yeah, okay, okay. Close this. Need to close that. Oops. This. Close that. That. Do that, that. It's here somewhere is what it's saying. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. It'll be gold. Might as well get it all. It's important. Good for Electrum, good for gold, good for everything electronics, basically. A little iron bags, why not? There is a lot up here. Man. Up here, down here. There's a lot of it here. Here, period. Oh! Dan Omen. No, no gambling. I'm sorry. I've been having a hankering to play Stationeers lately. Sorry to disappoint. Be gambling next time. Something like that. Sorry if I didn't see it until now. Okay, let's crawl back out of this little nightmare hole.
Hydration critical.
Hydration critical, these bowls. Alright. You don't get to keep the extra large battery. Sorry, tough guy. You get the little one. Okay. Cook it up. Green gold's pretty soft. I don't know about 400 degrees Kelvin soft.
Air tank low.
Maybe 600 degrees. How the fuck is my air tank low? It's really low. Do I have a hole in my suit? Still ended up making an extra cable for it. That's alright though. More for the horde. Okay, that is kind of annoying. I didn't realize I had been out there that long. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Walla-la-lam. Walla-la-lam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. yet. That was it. I just needed to come in for water, a little bit of food, I guess. Getting kind of serious. Need to get that food up soon. Need a bigger battery. Sun seems like it's about to come up. That's important to fix. I'm having problems. Son of a bitch. Just keep popping up everywhere. Do is go up the icy housing. To the same side of the line that everything else is on. We connect it in. And then we throw our chip in. Go here. Expert. Pick it up. Put it in. Change that shit around. Go. Gas sensor. Damn. So now that vent's connected in, whenever it gets turned on, it will output into this. Turn on probably. $10 watts. Okay, so no, not too bad. 10 watts probably when it's not doing it. Probably terrible still. Mm, 10 months. And then we need a gas mixer. Just enough gold and copper. Ooh. So what we'll do is we'll just put it right about here. And we've got to pipe in nitrogen on the bottom. It's easy and right there. Oxygen from the other side. Also easy and right there. And we gotta adjust the percentage. This is This is input 2 down at the bottom. So we need 70% nitrogen. We'll do a 7228.
Airtight critical.
Make it a little extra. Air tank critical. Okay. It's bothering me how these aren't properly colored either, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna go. No, I'm not. I'm too lazy. It'll be faster. Alright. And then this can be tied into the power grid. Somewhere. Okay. Then make it easy on myself. Alright. Now they can all talk to each other. We need to set up. What is it? Let's see here. The vent is device 1, the mixer is device 2, and device 0 is the sensor. So you need to run inside, put down the sensors. Sensor singular. Put it right there. Add that into the grid. Correct end, of course. Which means we are now able to pick the gas sensor. So we go gas mix, gas sensor, vent, mixer. Double check. Sensor, vent, mixer. Confirm. Turn that sucker on. Nowhere to go to. Okay. All we need now is a bunch of pipes. I mean a bunch. Start with a stack of 20, and we'll figure it out from there. One more pipe. Okay, wasn't it over here? There's more gold here. It's nice. There's the iron. We get the 2 hours. And you guys get a little more. Why not? Throw a little extra in there to finish out the night. Also to finish out the project we initially intended to finish, which was proper pressurization and filtration of the living space. Need like a big arrow this time. It says go this way, dummy. Getting kind of low on oxide and other stuff now too. So I want to vent most of this out. It's fairly quick. I could pump it out too and it would be faster. Just a little longer. Alright, that should be fine. Monoxide, 2 volatiles, activate. Close hatch. Warm up. Think we're gonna have to do one more anyway? Yeah, why not? Oxide. Volatiles. A stack of iron. I'm too impatient for that shit. Give me fire, give me that which I desire. Another thing that'll get me get me got by them. The people. The police. I needed the electronics printer too every now and then, so I might as well throw a little bit more in there. And a little extra straight gold for the hydraulic bender machine. Oh, 20 should have 10. Damn it. How did I do that? Oh. It was just left on. That wasn't the system doing it. Whoopsie. Turn that off. You're running out of nitrogen for the room. There is too much oxygen. Okay, so I need battery for the one inside. It has no battery in it yet. And more nitrogen, so nitrites. So, don't I already have that? And I can process it now. Fucking cowabunga. Bring it on, cowboy. What's the KP? $90.3? Okay, so if I turn this on, it should pressure up inside the room until the sensor sees 101 kPa. Did I type that wrong? Less than 101, greater than 110. Hey. Hey. It's higher than 110. What does the data reader say? Configuration. Pressure is 160. Okay. So why the fuck?
Power low.
The vent is connected to the correct network, yes. It's never branching. What type of fuck shit got exported onto this thing? Yeah. Okay. See? It's working now. So now pressure's down. Why are you doing this? Why are we getting stuck in loops? That isn't a thing that normally happens. So do I need a yield check? I just need to like slow my code down. Is it running too quickly? Is it crossing some kind of... Oh wait, yeah, both of them should be on because scrubbing. Ooh, I didn't overpressure any tanks, did I? Well, I'm sure I got close. So what about remove the CO2 from the room? It's again stuck at its loop. Maybe I just put these before the branches, but then it's going to be constantly turning them on and off. We have to load these inside of our cycle. This is why they're not being reloaded. I gotta stop doing that. There we go. That means that now I can actually put those back where they were, and it won't do that stupid cycle thing. They were getting stuck. They aren't getting stuck. That's right. Mm-hmm. 28% oxygen, 72% nitrogen. Perfect atmosphere. 104 kPa. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. 19.5 degrees Celsius. Don't need AC yet. Woohoo! Took a bit longer than expected. And a little bit more futzing around here than I wanted. Let's go to the library. Save. Creation. Cool. Now I've got a pretty good script for this. All right. Pick up my laptop, put that back in my back pocket. This stays here and stays on. That stays there. That stays like that. Everything there is running. We've got the battery for the one inside. Turn that off. Or put it away. Turn that off too. It's off already. All right. I think we just about did it. Might need a little bit more nitrice for any more rooms that I end up making. I want to make that oxygen overpressure tank next time still. There's more solar panels to be added. But it is late. I've been streaming a long time. I think it is time to go to bed. I think I'm gonna extend the base out right here, this way, maybe. Maybe I'll put my plants underground. I don't know. That'd be kind of hard to do. I like the idea of having them out in the open. Maybe I have a little path that comes this way and turns. Either way, I will figure something out. But that will be for next time. I'm very happy with the printer modification that I made there with the integrated circuit. I coded it to where it automatically shuts off. I like that. I like the way it works. Makes me happy. And I'm proud that it actually does what it's supposed to. I think I'm kicking ass here. Making stuff happen. Looking like a real moon base now. My outside light. Love it. We're gonna need more battery storage, more solar panels here soon enough, especially if we want to have lights. Look at that. The air's filling the room and it's bringing pressure back up. I should put an APC in over there and make sure that that stays on as well. Talked about that earlier. Can't be letting that gas randomly warm up. Or cool down. Cool down too far. Can't let it cool down too far. Interior could do with some lighting. Yeah. Interior could definitely do with a little bit of lighting. That way my guy can kind of hang out in here and just relax. enjoy his interior space. We have not solved the food crisis yet. Nor really the water, but the water can be handled fairly easily. There's ice around here, and there will continue to be ice around here. Asteroids hitting the moon and such. Enough that you can keep yourself alive at least a little bit. And for food, we will be growing potatoes and soybeans to make French fries. These French fries. Oh man, if I can spell French fries. Oh, does it say it in here? Yeah, quality is best, which adds an additional 75% to your hydration capacity. Instead of just the additional 25% over, you can have up to 175% or something like that. Maybe it's only 150, I can't remember. But it's better than the food bars. What are they called? Cereal bars? Yeah. Only 25% bonus. So yeah, 175% water. And that runs out first anyway, most of the time, compared to food. So it's kind of nice that something as easy as French fries. See that good of a quality of food. I've not looked at canned French fries. Canned French fries, just good. They probably last longer. I don't know. They make fridges. Yeah. This one really feels like Moonbase. My other base was kind of like la di da di da, figuring it out. This time I was about business when I built my stuff. I knew what I needed. And I made it happen. Alright. Thank you everybody for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure to stream. I appreciate all you guys for being here and watching, however long you did. It's fun. We got our filtration in. And we got an extra little thing for the stacker. It's good. Good amount of work. I'll see you guys all on Tuesday. Have a good one.